Okay, I gotta stop this. I get it. Hey, hi, AJ Mahara here. Welcome back or welcome to the channel. Wow. It's Sir Free Jump Sleep again. No, don't worry. It's not gonna be an hour. It's not gonna be 2 hours. I'm over it. I gave it my best for that. When I do, yes, I'm trying to help commenters. Some of them can't, but hopefully it helps other people. But what's he up to now? Well, now he posts on a video I did a while back, borderline quote, love unquote, why it just ends. But he doesn't hear me. He still doesn't get it at all. But dude wants to remain in his fantasy and denial of codependency, in his fantasy of what he thinks. No matter how much he listens to my videos, reads other people's stuff, listens to other videos, researching his little butt off and not letting any of it actually get into his understanding. So he says, after all the 50 comments he's left on this channel already and had many answered and responded to by me in a 2-hour and 5-minute podcast and then a following in an 1-hour and 6-minute video, now he says also, like there's more for us to understand about him. I don't think so. That's his projection of his need for understanding still, or he needs to figure it out. Also, with my ex, once they feel you abandoned, they may go and act out doing some extreme impulsive sex or substance things, behavior. Then feel guilty about that, then project that onto you. No, again, dude thinks he's got it now, but he's still missing the point. Because the thing is, he still believes that what happened, and look back to my, are you just peeing into the wind of cognitive dissonance, the 2-hour plus podcast episode, and I forget what the other video is called, but it follows right after that one. He still thinks that what broke up the relationship or the dynamic or why he can't get his ex back, he still thinks it's because he left and he abandoned her. Well, it's not only that, as I said a lot in the other videos, so I won't repeat myself here, but this guy, and why am I commenting again about this guy? There's a commenter on one of the last videos I did. Oh, it's a BPD devaluation interjected by codependence, responsibility to stop internal rewounding. That means all of you with codependency. So how are you going to stop your internal rewounding? What are you doing? Because you've interjected, on top of your wounded inner child, you've interjected the impactful wounding abuse of the person with BPD that you were in a relationship with. This dude continues to think that it's just because he left. Like, some narc vibes here, ladies and gentlemen. Because he just thinks it's all about what he did. Doesn't realize that no matter what he did, whether he left or not, she was never into him. And she, like a lot of people with BPD, was not going to be able to have a relationship. In fact, remember that he said that at the end, she said she's only capable of flings. But yet here he is again, and on he goes. He says, the more I learn, I don't think he's learning squat. That's just my opinion. The more I'm amazed that she came back for round 2 and re-idealized. You see? He says the more he's learning. Well, he's certainly not learning from anything I have to say. Because I have videos up and I say a lot. They do not re-idealize you. Just because they come back, they're not re-idealizing you. I'm going to kill this phone. There, it was close by. I really apologize. Some people get on me so bad about that stupid phone. As if I know it's going to go off when I'm in the middle of a video or something. So he still thinks when she came back, they got together the second time, and then he left again, as if that was, it had so little to do with what he's described his borderline ex being about, being really lost, being a really dysfunctional person who doesn't know themselves, etc. So now he thinks he's learning a lot and can't believe she came back for round 2 and re-idealized. She didn't re-idealize you, if you see this, dude. And for anybody else out there who thinks you're being re-idealized because they come back, no, you're not. And the cycle's going to come faster and faster, and you're going to get, so you get pulled back in and you allow that and you believe in it, and then they're just going to push you back out. And it happens faster and faster every recycle. And you're not being re-idealized. It may feel like it. You may really think so. It doesn't make it so. And then he continues, why do the cycles get shorter? Well, I have videos that explain that, but even if he watches them, I don't think he'll get it. Logically, and then he puts in brackets, which does not apply to people with BPD. Well, you can't just say that, like 100% across the board they have like no logical anything, because that's not necessarily true either. But yeah, they lack a lot of logic for sure, because they don't know who they are, etc. You said, if you prove that you are reliable and they can come back and have you forgive them. No, why would you want to prove that you're reliable? Because like you're forgetting the part about they're not. I'm saying this for other people's benefit, not the commenter, right? Not Sir Free Jump Sleep, who I really don't want to have to block and have all his comments disappear. But that's going to be what happens if he wants to continue posting in this most, I don't know. I mean, lots of people that post to the channel are confused, lost, really hurting. But this guy just has this other feel to, like about him, like he's learning a lot, but he thinks, but he's just still not getting it. Anyway, it's not my problem. So you can't prove you're reliable, because if they come back, they're coming back for their own reason. It's not to do with you at all. I think what Surf Reed Jump Sleep has a lot of trouble with is understanding his own insignificance to this borderline woman. I don't think he can handle that. Have you ever thought of that? Have you ever kind of got stuck there for a time until you realize, like, wow, they just don't get me. They just don't know me. It's all about them. And then he says, is it because the devaluation cycles pile up? Good God, no. No. When a borderline devalues you and or ghosts or whatever they do with that, right? Usually ghosts or discard you. You're out of sight, out of mind. See, again, Sir Free Jump Sleep, and I don't really want to say this in a strong way, but narc traits much, because you just don't get. You have to keep making it about you. You have to keep making what your borderline ex did about you. That doesn't mean everybody who feels that way and might have narc traits like I'm suspecting of this dude right now, but he's over the top with it. You know, like he just can't stop and realize anything, but he thinks he's learning more, but like I don't see the evidence of it. No, it's not because the devaluation cycles pile up. After each devaluation cycle, poof, you don't exist. You never existed. They don't care. They move on. Poof, the next person doesn't exist. They don't care. They don't hold on to it. They're rewounding themselves, and they're stuck in their unconscious repetition compulsion patterns of reenactment. But it ain't about you, Surf Reed Jump Sleep. It isn't about anybody who's a partner of somebody with BPD. Feels like it's about you. Feels like you got abandoned. You were discarded. And but do the devaluation cycles pile up? No, because not a one of you who's with an untreated borderline even ever mattered enough for that to be the case. And I'm sorry for being so blunt with that part of the message, because it's devastating and extremely hurtful to people, right? And for that I have empathy. But this guy just gets me all passionately fired up, because I've never seen anybody walk parallel to reasonable information, and not just mine, I'm sure other people's, reasonable information, and none of it penetrates his skull. He just continues to focus on the core of what he believes, which is it's because he left her twice that this can't work, because he was so important to her. And he was not important to her, but he can't get that. And unfortunately, you're not important to these people. You are just object parent representation. Unconsciously to them, you don't really matter. And in idealization, they're not really seeing you like you feel they are. And in devaluation, it's not really about you either. So he continues to get this really, really incorrectly to his own peril ad infinitum. And so no, devaluation cycles don't pile up. They might pile up for the person if you keep going in the cycle of being devalued and split your devaluation and ghosted or discarded by a borderline. I guess it's a ghosting if they come back and not really a discard. But the thing is, You might feel that piling up as accruing damage inside of you, but no, they don't. They don't hang on to it. You, please hear this. Never mind surf, read, jump, sleep, dude. But please, everybody else or anybody else listening to this, please hear this. You are not important to them in the way that you believed you were. And that's probably one of the biggest horrific aspects of the idealization phase, because you're not seen in that phase. And I have videos out there that explain that too. And when they come back, you're not being re-idealized. And they might seem to focus on you when they come back or in the beginning in the idealization, but they're really not seeing or hearing you because they're trying to seek identity from you. And they're after what they're after, and they don't even consciously know what it is they're after. So you're never that important or as important as you thought you were to a borderline. You just aren't. And surf, read, jump, whatever, sleep dude here can't get it. And if you're hearing this for the first time, I have like a lot of empathy for you. And even this dude, how lost he is, but he doesn't want to hear reason, so I can't help that. And then he goes, and people remember bad experiences stronger than good. People are hurt more by bad experiences than good, if you want to be that black and white and that sort of basic in your communication. What is it again? Surf, read, oh, I just lost it. Surf, read, jump, sleep. Yeah. So to that last point really quickly, because I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I think it's an important message for people. Borderlines don't really love you in the beginning. If they're untreated, if they have BPD, the traits up, and they don't even know it, they don't know how to love. They don't attach. They don't see you in the idealization. And you can listen to 100,000 of them online tell you something that's not true, because they all have this narrative of, oh, I really did love you, and then it's all your fault why they don't love you anymore. It's not true. It's just not true. So when you're with a borderline, it's so not about you. I mean, untreated, etc. In the type of relationships that don't have a chance to work, but you're in the fantasy illusion that they are going to work, and that you're somehow going to overcome this, and you're going to get them to hear you, and you're going to be the one that changes them, rescues them, fixes them. They don't see you. They don't love you. They don't care about you. They're out in a survival mode of repetition compulsion that's unconscious, doing what they're doing, which they're responsible for all of that. But make no mistake about it, they don't have time or the capability to care about you, to love you. Because in the end, the way it all falls apart, how can you say that they ever loved you? How people that actually love somebody could never do to somebody what borderlines, most do to others. So you just weren't important and you weren't seen, and it isn't just because you left her twice to surf, read, where is it? Surf, read, jump, sleep. And maybe you're never going to get that because you have perhaps a more pathological need to believe that you were the center of this whole thing, when no, you weren't at all. And that goes for everybody else. You're not the center of the borderlines anything, except in how you unconsciously to them, they experience you as either the bad object other parent representation, or a good object other parent representation maybe never had. But it's not about you. It's really not about you. And that's what's so painful about all this for a lot of people. But I think surf, read, jump, sleep is just going to continue to think it's all about him. She never cared about you, dude. She never loved you. She never idealized you. She was just using you. And I don't know, you said you were masterfully manipulated in another video, so why don't you get that part then? Leave it there. Get into some treatment somewhere. Find another channel where you can leave a plethora of comments about how much you're learning but you're not getting a thing, okay? And I hope this was helpful to someone else, because we know it won't be helpful to the commenter. But yeah, when you're in a relationship with a person with BPD, they're not seeing you, they're not hearing you, it's not about you. They don't know the difference between self and other, where they end and you begin. Therefore, you don't begin for them. And their idealization, they don't even see you. And when they come back, let me repeat, they're not re-idealizing you. And it's the codependency and or CPTSD that you're suffering from, whether you know it or not, as jump, read, sleep, whatever his name is still minimizing and denying that he's a codependent. he may be a codependent with traits of something else, as I suggested, obviously, but it's never been about you, and it never will be about you. And they are just in survival mode, but in the borderline survival mode of the untreated person or the not well enough treated person with somebody with BPD, their survival mode, they don't take responsibility for that. They don't take accountability for that. They don't understand how they're negatively impacting other people because it's all about their survival. And whether they know that consciously or not, they just make excuses. There's always reasons why they do what they do, right? They always have something to say about that, but it's not the truth. So there's no excusing BPD abuse and usury, but this commenter still believes that he was centrally the reason that he left twice is why he can't have this person in his life. Despite, she didn't just go act out sexually and, what was the other thing? Oh, with substances, etc. She didn't just go do that because you left, dude. She was doing it before. Doing it before she met you. Doing it while she was, quote, with, unquote, you. Doing it now. See, you're just not the center of the universe, is what I'm trying to say to you. Surf, read, jump, sleep. And I don't believe that all codependents have the same fantasy level to narc traits of, like, this dude. But you do have this... You're externalizing things out. You're maybe really confused. And so you still do have this experience or the thought or the belief that if only you could have done it better, it would have worked out. Or because you did this, the person with BPD got really pissed and did that. And not the way it works. You're invisible. You're not seen. You're not heard. These relationships don't work out. This guy, well, actually, if he keeps commenting, I'll just keep on helping more people with what he makes me think about to actually tell you the truth about what 98% of these relationships are about. And remember, if somebody heals from BPD and recovers from BPD, and then they're in a relationship with somebody else in the future, they're not going to turn back to the codependent. They're not going to go back over ground that they already kind of lived and sort of like scorched earth. No, they're going to go ahead. They're going to find somebody healthier than your butt with codependency, just to be blunt, okay? So you need to heal you and get away from them, and so you can go forward and find that healthy person who is out there for you. And so this is like so important that people understand that all of the idealization, all of how great it makes you feel is a trap. And they're using you, and they don't care about you, and they don't see you, and I don't know what else I could say, but if you're hearing that for the first time and it seems to make sense to you, because some people will repel it or not listen, just I want to say I'm out here to work with you if you resonate with me. And I also want to say the way that I delivered that sort of rather bluntly to this specific commenter, I don't mean to sound so blunt for everyone else. And I have a lot of empathy for people trapped in these cycles, and compassion and care, and I'm trying like heck to educate people, and that's what my purpose is, and that's what I do when I'm working with clients one-to-one, and I've been doing that for 35 years, and I've been online. In a few months it will be for 30 years doing this. I feel uncomfortable to say these kind of things very much, but I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm doing, and I've helped many people as they've told me, save their lives, but also help many people heal and recover and gain that emotional mastery over cluster B abuse so they can go forward in their lives wanting to find a partner to be with, not like as a mission though, and be able to bat away anyone with even one major red flag, because people need to learn how to take care of themselves. You need to know more about who you are if you have codependency, and you need to understand why did you get into the relationship with this cluster B. And this dude here, who I'm responding to yet again, needs to get some help to try to figure out why he thinks he's the center of the universe and unique to this borderline woman, that everything she's doing is because he left. No. And that the reason that the relationship isn't going on and she's done with him is because he left. No. It's not just about because she obviously didn't even stop long to give a crap about that, quote, abandonment, unquote. She never was into the dude. They're often never into you, really. And that's devastating to hear, but think about it today in your own situation. Take care.